The courage to make decisions growing up. I was always fascinated by the courage it takes to make decisions in life, in business. Everyone is afraid of making the wrong choice. But if you never make a decision, how can you ever expect anything to happen? In the early days of Alibaba, we faced countless difficult choices. We didn't know exactly what to do, but we knew we had to do something. You don't need to have the entire path mapped out, you just need to take the first step. I remember a time when all our competitors were focused on traditional business models and physical stores. My team and I decided to invest everything we had in e-commerce. People told me I was crazy, that the future was in brick-and-mortar stores. But I believed we were building something different, something that would solve real problems for small businesses. You have to trust your own vision, even when the rest of the world seems to disagree. Life is like a game of chess where every move counts. Sometimes you lose a piece, but the bigger strategy can still lead to victory. When we face challenges, it's our ability to decide quickly and learn from those decisions that sets us apart. Many people think success comes only from knowledge, but true success comes from action. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. They're what make us stronger and wiser. Don't wait for the perfect moment to make a decision, because the perfect moment never comes. If you have a clear vision of what you want to achieve, you have to move forward, even if others are hesitant. Alibaba grew because we decided to act while others were still thinking. Opportunities are always around us, but only those with the courage to act can seize them. A decision is like a planted seed at first. It seems small and insignificant, but with time and nurturing, it grows into something great. Many of our greatest achievements at Alibaba started with a small decision, made with courage and determination. This is the courage I want you to adopt in your own lives. When you choose to act, you choose your future. The future belongs to those who have the courage to create their own path. You don't need anyone's permission or approval. The courage to make decisions, even in the face of doubt and fear, is what differentiates a leader from a follower. And it's this courage that will take you to places you never thought possible. Learning from failure. When people talk about success, the first thing they often ignore is failure. Failure is an essential part of any journey, but few are prepared to face it. I have personally failed countless times. I was rejected by the police, and I failed 30 job interviews, including one at KFC where I was the only person out of 24 applicants not to be hired. This taught me that failure is a gateway, not the end of the road. Learning from failure means understanding that each rejection and each closed door is preparing you for something greater. When I was rejected by Harvard 10 times, I could have given up, but I realized that failure was shaping me. It was teaching me resilience. Failure is the best teacher you can have. You don't learn to be strong in moments of success. You learn it in the moments when everything seems to be going wrong. The real lesson lies in how you respond to failure. You can regret it and give up, or you can use it as fuel to improve. Failure forces us to analyze what went wrong, to find creative solutions, and most importantly, to become stronger. Many people try to avoid failure at all costs, but in fact, it's failure that drives us to innovate and grow. It's what gives us a clear vision of where we can improve and where our true strengths lie. When I started Alibaba, we faced significant failures. Nobody believed in our business model. I was told I was crazy, that China would never do business online. In the first few years, we didn't generate a single penny in revenue. And there were times when it seemed all was lost, but it was in those moments of failure that we found our most innovative ideas, like Alipay, which has since become one of the most successful digital payment solutions in the world. Without failure, this idea might never have been born. Failure is not something to be ashamed of. It's a necessary stage for any entrepreneur. Learning to deal with it is fundamental to continued growth. Success is often just a series of failures that have been put to good use. If you can learn from your mistakes and pick yourself up each time you fall, then failure will become your greatest advantage. So the next time you face failure, don't see it as an enemy. See it as a mentor, an opportunity to learn, grow, and eventually triumph. Because at the end of the day, what matters isn't how many times you fail, but how many times you have the courage to get up and try again. The power of a long-term visione. Often see people obsessed with instant success, the idea of quick and immediate gains. But believe me, real success isn't built overnight. When I started Alibaba, I wasn't thinking about next month or next quarter. I was thinking about the next 10, 15 years. In a world where everyone is looking for immediate results, having a long-term vision is like sailing on an ocean, knowing exactly where your boat is going even if the waves try to steer you off course. What many people don't understand is that a long-term vision is what sustains a business through difficult times. When we face a storm, it's this vision that keeps us on course. I remember when we faced countless rejections and failures. What kept me going was the clarity of where I wanted to go. It wasn't just about surviving, it was about building something that would have a real impact and relevance in the future. And you know what? A long-term vision is also a great motivator for your team. When they see that you're not just worried about the next quarter's results, but about a solid and prosperous future, it creates a sense of purpose. They begin to understand that they are building something bigger than themselves. And this understanding fuels motivation and dedication at every step of the journey. Purpose as your compass. When I think back to the start of Alibaba, the most important thing that kept me going was having a clear purpose. It wasn't just about making money or being the biggest. It was about creating something that had a real impact on people and business. Having a clear purpose is like having a compass in the middle of a storm. It's what keeps you on course when the going gets tough. Without this purpose, it's easy to lose direction and get carried away by the distractions of the business world. A clear purpose isn't just a nice slogan or an inspiring statement. It's something that should be ingrained in every decision and strategy you create. It's the why you do what you do. When that why is strong enough, it becomes a driving force that guides your actions and decisions. I remember many times when faced with challenges, returning to our purpose gave us the strength and clarity we needed to keep going. Having a clear purpose also helps to attract people who share the same vision. When you know exactly what you're fighting for, it's easier to find others who believe in the same thing. And these are the people who will walk with you even when the going gets tough. They aren't just there for the salary or benefits, they're there because they believe in the same dream. And don't think that a clear purpose is something you find overnight, it evolves over time. In the beginning, my purpose was simply to show the world that small businesses could have a global platform. Over time, this evolved into something much bigger, to create an ecosystem that could benefit not just merchants, but society as a whole. And that's the power of purpose. It grows along with you and your vision. One important thing about having a purpose is that it needs to be genuine. People can sense when you're being authentic. If you're just talking about purpose to look good or attract attention, people will notice. But when your purpose is real, it becomes a magnet that attracts opportunities and connections you never imagined. Never underestimate the impact of a clear purpose on overcoming obstacles. When you know why you're doing what you're doing, it's much easier to maintain the motivation and resilience needed to keep moving forward. Even in the face of adversity, it's like an inexhaustible fuel that powers your journey. Building a team with a shared vision. When I started Alibaba, I knew I couldn't do it alone. I needed a team that shared the same vision and believed in what we were building. I firmly believe that a strong team is one that not only works together, but also shares the same dreams and goals. It's not about having the most talented people, but about having people who believe in the same mission. It's this collective belief that moves mountains. I remember when we were recruiting our first team members, we weren't just looking for technical skills. We were looking for people who were passionate about our vision. People who were willing to sacrifice the short term for a better future. And you know, I was often asked how I kept these people motivated. The truth is, it wasn't just the money. It was the idea of being part of something bigger than ourselves. The key to building this kind of team is communication. You need to be clear about the company's vision and purpose. People need to know where they're going and why they're going in that direction. And it's not enough to say it once. It's something you need to repeat constantly. In every meeting, in every decision. This clarity and consistency create a sense of belonging and purpose that keeps everyone aligned. I've also learned that a team that shares its vision is a team that supports each other in difficult times, because let's be honest, there will be times when things fall apart. That's when the true strength of a team reveals itself. When everyone is connected by a common vision, they lift each other up. They face challenges together, knowing that they are working for something bigger than their individual problems. But building such a team doesn't happen overnight. You have to invest time and energy in each person, understand what motivates them, what inspires them. It's a continuous process of learning and adjusting. You need to be willing to listen, adapt, and grow together with your team. This connection creates a culture of trust and collaboration where everyone feels part of something meaningful. Ultimately, I believe that a team that shares your vision is one of the most valuable assets a company can have. They don't just work for the paycheck. At the end of the month, they work because they believe in what they're doing. And that's what makes all the difference when it comes to making big dreams come true. Customers first, employees foremost. When I talk about putting customers first, many people think it's just about selling more or keeping the customer happy. But the truth is, to really put customers first, you need to start by looking after your employees. Employees who feel valued, motivated, and happy will naturally create a better experience for customers. It's like planting a seed in fertile soil. The fruit will be sweeter and more abundant. I remember the early days of Alibaba. We were a small group, but everyone believed deeply in what we were doing. Back then, we didn't have many resources, but we had each other. We created an environment where everyone felt they were part of something important, something bigger, and that energy, that passion spilled over to our clients. They could feel that we were truly committed to helping them, and that made all the difference. You have to create an environment where your employees feel safe enough to innovate, to experiment, and even to fail. Why? Because it's through those experiences that they truly grow and get better at what they do, and when they grow, the company grows right along with them. An employee who feels like they're a part of the company's growth process is an employee who will go above and beyond for customer satisfaction. They become your best brand ambassadors, but this doesn't happen by chance. You have to invest time and effort into understanding what your employees need. It's not just about salaries or benefits. Even though those are important, it's about creating a place where they feel heard, where their ideas are valued, and where they have the chance to develop. It's about showing them that you are just as committed to their success as you are to the success of the company. Many companies make the mistake of seeing employee care as a cost, but I see it as an investment, an investment that pays off in the form of satisfied customers, innovative products, and a healthy company. When you take care of your employees, they take care of your customers. And when customers are happy, they come back, they talk about you. They become advocates for your brand. It's a virtuous cycle that starts with your own team, so the next time you think about putting customers first, remember that it all begins with taking care of the people who are with you every day, because they are the ones who will make your dream a reality. True innovation and continuous improvement is a word everyone loves to use, but few truly understand its meaning. For me, innovation isn't just about creating something new or revolutionary. It's the ability to see what others can't see and do what others don't dare to do. It's about solving problems in a way no one has thought of before and constantly adding value. And innovation doesn't always come from big, grand ideas. It often comes from small adjustments, tiny improvements to what already exists. When we started Alibaba, innovation wasn't something we planned on a whiteboard. It happened because we were willing to try new things, even if it meant failing a few times. We were always asking ourselves, how can we make this better? How can we make it easier for our customers and employees? Innovation is about refusing to accept the status quo and always searching for something more efficient, more effective, and more impactful. Have you ever noticed that many of history's greatest advances came from a problem? The need to solve an issue is what drives creativity, so when I see a challenge, I see an opportunity to innovate. If you just look at what everyone else is doing and try to copy them, you'll never be innovative. It takes courage to look at what no one else is looking at and do what no one else is doing. Innovation is about taking risks, getting out of your comfort zone, and exploring the unknown. But innovation isn't just about products or services. It's also about processes, how you run your business. Small changes in how you do something can lead to huge improvements. It could be a new way of serving customers, a more efficient way of organizing your staff, or a fresh approach to an old problem. Innovation is everywhere if you're willing to look for it. And make no mistake, innovation doesn't happen in a place where people are afraid to make mistakes. You need to create a culture where failure is seen as a natural part of the learning process, where people feel safe to experiment with new ideas without fear of punishment. Because it's through this trial and error that true breakthroughs emerge. Innovation is an ongoing process. It's never finished. You should always be asking yourself, what's next? How can we do this even better? Innovation is the key to choosing your future because it keeps you ahead of the competition, keeps your company relevant, and helps you grow constantly. So instead of asking why innovate, ask why not innovate. Resilience in the face of change. Change is the only constant in life and in the business world. It's no different. The market changes. Technology changes and customers change. If you don't change with them, you'll be left behind. Resilience is the skill that allows us not just to survive these changes, but to thrive in them. It's about adapting, getting up after a fall, and moving forward even when things get tough. During my journey with Alibaba, we faced countless changes and challenges. There were times when everything seemed to be falling apart. I remember when we first started. The concept of e-commerce was completely new. Many people said we were crazy, that it would never work in China, but we persisted. We knew that if we were resilient and kept adapting our approach, we would eventually find a way to make it work. And we did. Resilience isn't just about willpower, it's also about perspective. It's how you see the challenges you face. If you see them as insurmountable obstacles, you'll be defeated before you even begin, but if you see them as opportunities to learn and grow, they become part of your success story. Change can be scary, but it can also be a catalyst for innovation and growth. Resilience isn't a skill you're born with, it's something you develop over time. Every challenge you face and overcome makes you a little stronger, a little more prepared for the next one. It's like a muscle that you strengthen every time you use it, so the next time you face an obstacle, see it as a chance to build your resilience. Remember, it's not about never falling, but about always getting back up. The business world is unpredictable. You never know what tomorrow might bring. There could be an economic crisis, a new competitor, or a shift in customer preferences. But if you have resilience, you have the ability to adapt and thrive no matter what. This is one of the keys to choosing your future. It's not just about having a plan, it's about being ready to change that plan when necessary. Resilience is the difference between those who give up in the face of adversity and those who use it as a springboard to something greater. It's about taking the long view and understanding that even if things are difficult now, that's just part of the process. And above all, it's about keeping faith in yourself and your vision, even when no one else does. Finding invisible opportunities. The real opportunity is hidden where you least expect it. At the beginning of Alibaba, one of the biggest challenges we faced was the issue of deliveries in China. Logistics has always been a problem, especially in rural and remote areas. Large logistics companies were unwilling to deliver everywhere, leaving a large portion of the population unable to get the products we sold online. Too many. This seemed like an impossible obstacle, but for us, it was an invisible opportunity. We decided to work with small local entrepreneurs to solve this problem. Instead of relying on big logistics companies, we started empowering individuals and small businesses to make deliveries in their own communities. It may have seemed like a risky move at the time, but we believed in the power of these people to change the situation. Each of these deliveries was an opportunity to create a network that met the needs of our customers, no matter where they were. Today, this local delivery system has become one of Alibaba's greatest strengths. We have around 30 million people working just on these small local deliveries. We not only managed to overcome the logistical barrier, but we also created job opportunities for millions. That's what I call turning a difficulty into a competitive advantage. These people know their areas better than any big company could, and they bring with them an entrepreneurial spirit that is vital to the success of our platform. This innovative approach has allowed us to reach even the most remote corners of China. Places where it was once impossible to make a delivery now have access to products from all over the world. And it's not just about deliveries, it's about creating a connection with the customer, showing them that each package is delivered by someone who is part of their community. This builds trust and loyalty, something that can't be bought but must be earned. Working with these small, local entrepreneurs has also changed how we see success. It's not just about expanding our presence, but doing so in a way that benefits people at all levels. Logistics is no longer a barrier for us, but an advantage that sets us apart from other companies. By empowering people in their own communities, we have created a logistics network that is fast, efficient, and most importantly, humanized. This is the true spirit of finding invisible opportunities. Instead of seeing a problem as an obstacle, we saw it as a chance to innovate and create value for everyone. That's a lesson that applies to any business. The challenges you face today can be the foundation for your success tomorrow. If you're willing to think creatively and act boldly. The power of continuous learning. At the beginning of my journey, I realized that the world is constantly evolving. Technology, markets, customer expectations, everything changes quickly. When I started Alibaba, I didn't know much about technology, but I knew that to be successful, I needed to continuously learn and adapt to these changes. That's a principle we should all adopt. Never stop learning. It's the key to staying relevant and prepared for the future. I remember a moment shortly after we started Alibaba when technology changed dramatically. The internet went from a curiosity to a necessity. I could have ignored these changes and continued with our traditional methods, but I decided to dive in and learn everything I could about these new technologies. This not only helped me improve our business but also allowed me to better understand our customers' needs and desires. Because at the end of the day, learning isn't just for your benefit, it's for the benefit of those you serve. Continuous learning isn't just about acquiring new skills. It's also about unlearning old practices that no longer work. We often get so used to doing things a certain way that we forget to question whether it's still the best way. At Alibaba, we always encourage our team to challenge the status quo and find more efficient ways of doing things. That's why we invest so much in training and development, because we believe that the more our team learns, the more value we can offer our customers. Another thing I've learned is that learning doesn't just happen in a classroom or from reading books. It happens in day-to-day interactions, in conversations with clients, and in partnerships with other entrepreneurs. One of my greatest teachers was my own experience, the mistakes and failures we faced along the way. Every challenge we overcame was a lesson learned. This mentality of learning from everything and everyone around us is what keeps us innovating and growing. It's important to understand that learning is a continuous process, not a final destination. Even today, after years of leading one of the largest companies in the world, I am still learning. If there's one thing Alibaba has taught me, it's that learning never stops. There is always something new to discover, a new skill to develop, a new way of thinking. And it's this relentless pursuit of knowledge that keeps us ahead, allowing us to keep growing and adapting in an ever-changing world. So if you want to choose your future, choose the path of continuous learning, because what you know today may not be enough for tomorrow's challenges. Always be willing to learn, to grow, and to reinvent yourself. And remember, learning isn't just about you. It's about how you can use this knowledge to help others, to create value, and to make a difference in the world. Because in the end, that's what really matters. Building trust and credibility. When we started Alibaba, one of the biggest challenges we faced was a lack of trust in China. People were used to doing business face-to-face, shaking hands, looking each other in the eye. Transacting online seemed unthinkable to many. How could we convince people to trust a system where they couldn't see or touch the product before buying it? We knew that building trust and credibility would be the key to success. Trust isn't something you gain overnight. It's something you earn over time through consistent action and transparency. We worked hard to create an environment where both buyers and sellers felt safe. We implemented feedback systems, offered quality guarantees, and created a secure payment process to protect both parties involved in a transaction. Every step was designed to build a relationship of trust between us and our users. Moreover, we believe that trust is built not only between companies and customers but also between employees and the company. Taking care of our employees, creating a place where they feel valued and respected, is essential. Employees who trust the company they work for are more likely to pass that trust on to customers. It's a virtuous cycle. Satisfied employees lead to satisfied customers, and satisfied customers lead to more business. At Alibaba, we've always emphasized the importance of keeping our promises. If we say we're going to do something, we do it. If we make a mistake, we take responsibility. This attitude has helped us build a solid reputation over the years. And that reputation is one of our greatest assets, because at the end of the day, people do business with people they trust. They want to know that you'll be there when they need you and that you will keep your word. For any company or individual who wants to succeed, building trust and credibility must be a priority. It's not just about making money, it's about creating lasting relationships. When people trust you, they are willing to invest in you, to walk with you into the future. And that's a solid foundation on which you can build anything. Impact beyond profit. When we think of success, many of us immediately associate it with profit, of course. Profit is important, it keeps the lights on and the business running. But if you want to create something truly lasting, you need to think beyond profit. The true impact of a company goes beyond numbers on a spreadsheet. It's about how you change the lives of the people around you and create a legacy that endures. Our mission is to do more than just make money. From the start, we wanted to empower small entrepreneurs, to help small businesses reach markets that were previously out of their reach. It was about giving people the tools to transform their own lives and, in doing so, creating a ripple effect that could impact entire communities. It's not about being the biggest, it's about being the most influential in a positive way. Creating an impact beyond profit also means taking social responsibility. For example, by working to solve delivery problems in China, we not only created job opportunities for millions of people, but also contributed to the development of local infrastructure. When you invest in solving real problems, the return isn't just in the form of revenue, it's also in the form of social and economic progress. That's the kind of impact worth pursuing. Another way to create impact is through sustainable business practices. We can't just think about now, we need to consider the legacy we will leave for generations to come. This means adopting practices that are good for the planet and for people. At Alibaba, we've invested in clean energy and ways to reduce our carbon footprint. Every small step counts. And if more companies do their part, we can create a more sustainable future for everyone. Finally, it's important to remember that creating impact beyond profit is about inspiring others. When people see that you are making a difference, it motivates them to do the same. It's like lighting a candle in a dark room. That small flame can be the start of a chain of light. So when building your business, think about the impact you want to create, because at the end of the day, true success is measured not just by what you've achieved, but by the legacy you've left behind. Mastering your life. Jack Ma's wisdom. What does it take to master your life? Many believe it's luck or talent, but Jack Ma, the founder of Alibaba, thinks otherwise. He believes it's about making choices that define your future. In a world where most are content to just go with the flow, Jack Ma chose to carve his own path, transforming failures into lessons and challenges into opportunities. His journey is a masterclass in courage, resilience, and the power of a clear purpose. In this video, we'll dive into the life-changing lessons from Jack Ma. We'll explore how having the courage to make decisions can set you apart while learning from failures is crucial for personal growth, and how a long-term vision can guide you through life's uncertainties. We'll delve into the invisible opportunities that most people miss, and discuss the importance of continuous learning to stay ahead in an ever-evolving world. Lastly, we'll look at why contributing to a better world is not just a noble goal, but a key to true fulfillment. Get ready to be inspired by insights that can reshape how you approach your own life. Whether you're striving for personal growth, aiming to develop a mindset for success, or seeking ways to make a positive impact, these teachings will provide you with practical tools and strategies. So, if you're ready to take control of your future and become the master of your destiny, keep watching until the end.